Hola, Gringas y Gringos.
And welcome to Gringos Are Us, Expats with a Plan.
And in this week's video, we thought maybe we would share with you some of the reactions that we have received from friends and family when we tell them we're going to Mexico.
We'll share them with you right after this.
Well, thank you for coming back.
And we appreciate you spending some time with us. We're going to talk about some of the reactions that we got when we told friends and family and acquaintances that we were moving to Mexico.
Indeed. It was an eye-opener.
It was. And it was very interesting. For those of you who don't know, we have 3 daughters, and it was really sort of interesting that we got a, oh, that's great, or a, I don't know, are you really serious about doing this?
Yeah.
Or, it's y'all. I knew you guys would do something like this. So, I mean,
It's true.
It's
So true. So
they
true.
are 3 unique individuals. So, and we got 3 unique responses.
We got an interesting response from his mom.
Yeah, mom, who is now in her 80s and is the most spry 80-year-old that I have ever seen, was basically said, well, I trust the 2 of you that you're not doing anything that you wouldn't have thought all the way through, and I know that y'all are planning for this. So, okay.
Yep.
My sister was sort of are you sure?
Very cautious.
Which
Yeah.
I understand because her in-laws had moved out of the country, and it, was several decades ago, but some of it was good, some of it wasn't so good. So, she had personal experience to draw upon. And this was also probably the better part of over a year ago. Yep. And things then, according to the media, it was a lot worse in Mexico than what the current state of the U.S. is. So, again, it was met with but it's so unsafe down there.
Yep.
And when we started sharing the statistics and everything else, okay. Yeah. Did I think we'd ever convince them to move to Mexico? That's never going to happen.
No.
And it's not for everybody. So amazingly enough, I think that when we first started telling them, that was the general response of most of them.
Yes, and so I even remember I was kind of posting on Facebook to my friends, and I have friends that are mostly into certain bands that we all follow, and they were very, very shocked and extremely cautious, and telling me all about the kidnappings and the murders and whatnot. And after a while, sharing the statistics, it was pretty clear that even where we're living right now, which a lot of people want to come to, we have a higher murder rate than many of the places that we're looking at in Mexico. So after a while, they kind of piped down and started listening a little more. And I think they understand now that not everything they hear is an accurate description of what we're running into.
And another one that I started using very effectively was, would you move to Chicago? and I have people go, well, no. Well, we're not moving to Juarez or Tijuana. So when they started to actually think about the fact that Mexico is a big country, and yes, there are parts of it that are not safe. Mm-hmm. But when you start realizing that in the United States, it's a big country, and there are parts of it that are not safe.
Right.
So, when they started to actually stop and get past the initial reaction of basically the unknown, because, mainstream media, they can't be wrong. Well, they're not wrong, but what you're hearing is about one certain area. And so when you hear about the rest of the country and you actually do some digging into research and everything else, okay, you're safer there than you are here. And that's...
Yeah. And my coworkers at first thought that I was just being funny. Oh yeah, I want to go to Mexico too. Let me know when you're going. Okay, I'll let you know when I'm going, but you're going to have to start doing your planning if you're going to come with me. And then they started to realize that I was serious. Like, this wasn't a joke. I'm not saying that I'm so stressed out I'm leaving and going to Mexico. No, folks. We're going to Mexico.
Yes.
Yeah. So sometimes that's the reaction too. Oh, you're being funny. No, I'm being serious. And, here it is.
And what is in the last year, since we basically made this determination, it's been almost a year since we made it. What's really been interesting is that probably a lot of those, you're going where? You're moving to Mexico. You're going to get killed. You're going to get kidnapped. You're going to have this happen to you.
Yeah.
But in the last, I want to say 3 to 4 months, we started getting, or at least I have, people who have honestly looked at me and gone, really? Tell me more.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Not oh, I'd never do that. No, tell me more.
Yes. I've had people reach out to me, distant cousins in my family who I am friends with for genealogical reasons. Just the other day, one of them said, tell me more. Tell me more. Where are you going? Why are you going there? Let me know what these locations are like. I'm looking to do a relocation as well. And then we've had people who, like, we had to cancel our gym memberships.
Yep.
And boy, were they ever interested about Mexico.
Well,
Yeah.
in all the years we've been married, the longest conversation you've ever had with your sister on the phone was when you told her and she wanted, give me the deets.
Yeah.
And she wanted to
That's
know.
true. No, that is so true. My sister and I, for reasons that we don't need to go into, we kind of got separated when we were both in high school, and we've never really been super close after that because I lived in Pennsylvania and she was living in Michigan. And so and we're not phone people. We don't like talking on the phone. Neither one of us ever have. And we connect and chit chat and do things through Facebook. Well, she called me one day about something that came up, a memory from the past type thing. And yeah, then it got on to the conversation of Mexico. And I don't even know. We talked for 2 hours maybe, or longer. And she wanted to know all the details. She was very interested in it. So, hey, Donna, if you're watching this, yeah, there you go.
No, and a lot of our family, or my family on my side, that they have been sort of, well, if anybody was going to do it, it would be you two. And the weird part is there are members of my family who in the 80s lived in Europe.
Yeah.
Left Michigan, went to Europe, and spent 5, 6, 7 years. I can't remember exactly now how long they were in Europe. And then when they came back, my cousin Jennifer, the oldest one, remained in Europe and went to college in Europe, and then married an Englishman in 1995, because I was there when they got married in Bury St. Edmunds, England. And they now have 2 daughters, and they live in China.
They're teachers.
They're teachers.
They're teachers in China.
So,
and both of their children are going to college in Scotland?
Well, Gracie's in Scotland, and Nikki is going to be going in London.
Yeah.
So they'll both be in the British Isles and free to move around, which has not been the case the last couple of years
Right.
that they have been in China. And you know, we sort of, at least on my side, come from a group that does not have a problem with wanderlust. We just sort of go. And okay,
Okay.
you know, then there has been the responses from our subscribers, and you guys have been great. The positive responses back, and the questions and the sharing of, for some of you who are ahead of us, have gone down,
Yep.
and sharing how those experiences have turned out has been great. And it's been very pleasant for us to be able to read that. And yes, we have a lot of people that we have committed to that we're going to be in your area, and we'll get together and have a cocktail and share some of the stories and see how this whole thing
we'll
went.
have a mezcal and some chapulines.
She will have the mezcal and the chapulines.
Maybe some tacos lingua.
Feel free, baby. Dang happening here.
Well, so we just really wanted to kind of say that, you know, sometimes if you're trying to break the ice with family, honestly, it's going to be a shock to some family members, and you're going to get some negative vibes from that, and it's understandable. It's understandable because honestly, in the United States, we do not get an accurate picture of what life in Mexico truly is like. So it's hard for people to form an educated opinion about something that they don't have the education on.
Well, that's because they're not watching Sir Dragon X.
Well, you know.
And, you know, Q RuPaul. And
exactly.
all these
Well,
other
I mean,
people.
they're not even thinking about
No.
Mexico because it's not on their radar because they think it's a scary place to be. But truthfully, if you're going to break the ice to your family, it's one of those things where you just sort of lay out the details. If you need to support it with some evidence, statistics, whatever you got to do, have faith that in time it will soften.
Oh, yes.
It will soften.
It will.
And you won't be met with as much resistance, I should say. Initially, when we were at the beach at Topsail Island, Surf City, North Carolina, on vacation, we discussed possibly doing a video where we just interviewed various family members for brief moments, just asking them about their opinion and how they felt about it. And I know our youngest daughter, Lexi, kind of said, I really don't want to do that. She goes, I know this is something you want to do, but I don't really want to talk about it. I'm like, okay. So I don't know if at times it's a fear of where we're going as much as it might be a fear that they won't see us as often as they want. And in the case of Lexi, we don't see her that often now, and she's only 4 hours away. So
we don't see any of them that much.
no, we don't.
We're thinking that maybe being down there might entice them to come see us more often.
Yep.
You know, having an opportunity to, oh, that's right, travel to Mexico. And once they get down there, they're going to go, oh, this is great.
Oh,
now we
man.
know why you want to live down here.
Let's go get some more of those street tacos.
Not the lingua. No.
Just keep watching a bunch of different YouTubers. You're going to get
Yes.
all kind of perspectives, all kinds of ideas. Like just this week alone, Sir Dragon X from Retired Life in Mexico, No Bull, Mariana from Mexico Relocation Guide, Q RuPaul today from Two Expats Mexico. I know I'm missing somebody else, but I saw it.
Tangerine Travel.
Tangerine Travels, yes. Everybody has said something about the very, very beneficial exchange rate
It is very favorable right now.
right now. So I went right into my Wise app and I transferred some money. But boom, cost me $1.60 to do that transfer.
Take advantage.
Yeah. So
if we can say anything that's immediate, if you are planning on doing it, whether it be for vacation or whether you're planning on a move, now is the time to get the pesos.
start doing your shuffling your money around.
Yep.
And I didn't have a lot to shuffle around, but that's okay. Yeah, I took advantage of it today. Next payday, we'll see what it looks like. Maybe I'll do it then too.
Whatever. But take advantage of it right now. If you got some and I know you're going to need it, now's the time to do it. If you're in the country and you're still working on American dollars in the country, now is a very favorable time.
Yeah.
If you want to move some over, because you know you're going to have to pay pesos because everything down there runs on cash, just about. So, if you're going to need some cash in your pocket, you're going to get more pesos for the dollar right now. So
yeah, and we really recommend the Wise app. I'm very impressed right now. We did have to pay $10 to get the debit card, which we can then use later once we're there. But the fact that they give you the prime, is that considered prime rate? I don't know. They give you the prime rate. You're not getting any money held back by the bank. So they give you the rate, the actual exchange rate for the day. And they charged a very small nominal fee.
Very nominal.
I mean, wow. Yes. Yay for the Wise app.
So that's where we are this week.
See the mess behind us?
Yes.
Can you see it? Can you see it? Ugh.
2 weeks from now, we're making the first run to go to the storage unit. So.
Oh yeah, and our car is still at the dealership because.
Oh boy.
We went to go pick it up on Friday. And they drive it up to the bay.
After they had to go find the keys.
And it was so loud. And and the girl gets out and I said, "Why is it so loud?" And she goes, "I don't know. I'm going to go inside and find out." Right on the lot, while it was there for repairs, somebody stole the catalytic converter. So they're putting a new catalytic converter in, but it has been 4 additional business days, and I don't know what the status is. I hope that this is done before we have to do that first move.
We can but hope.
Yeah. All right.
But that's where we're at. So
you know what we didn't say?
What would you say?
You know what we didn't say?
What?
Thank you so much for the growth, and it wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for our viewers giving us a like, a subscribe,
and ringing the bell.
Ringing that bell so you get notified when we drop a new video.
Absolutely.
It's because of all of you that we're seeing some pretty fast growth lately, and we really appreciate that.
We really do.
Thank you so much.
Hopefully we can put 2 in the can next week, because the following weekend going to be pretty busy.
Amazon Prime Day. Amazon, get out of my dreams. They were totally ripping off Billy Ocean this year with that song. Anyway,
well, Billy Ocean for the sound and Michael Jackson for the look.
This is true.
Yes.
But it was Amazon Prime Day. And guess what happened? That drone, that DJI Mavic drone that I wanted so bad came down $300. So I ordered it. So we're going to have a drone. I just have to learn how to use it.
So guess what footage you'll be seeing in Mexico? Once we get in the country, we'll have some great shots to be able to share with you.
Hope so.
That's the plan anyway.
All right, let's wrap this up. Let's wrap this show up.
Okay. Thanks again for taking the time to watch us. We appreciate it. We appreciate all that you have done to help us grow this channel.
Yep.
And we will be back next week. So, adios, and thank you very much. This is Gringos Are Us.
Expats with a plan.
We're doing it. You can too.
Hasta la vista.
Adios.